Hey guys, Brian Castro here with Better Chess Training, and in today's video we're going to continue our Climbing the Ladder series. I'm staying in that 1200 range for this game, and kind of an interesting game. Some maneuvering going on, and I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. Hey guys, we are playing another game in our Climbing the Ladder series. Another 1200 rated player, and this time the time control is 30 minutes with no increment. So I'm going to try to explain my thought process as we go along, and we'll see how it goes. Starting out with E4. Usually, my main opening E4, but I wanted to try something a little different. In the past, I have played E4, of course. So play knight to F3, attacking the E5 pawn. And one thing you want to do here in general is no matter what your opponent's rating, you want to make sure that you're not underestimating him. So you always want to expect your opponent to play the best moves. Um, Something that it can be easy sometimes to um, hope that your opponent's going to make a mistake, but we have to avoid that. Okay, let's see here. Played here with bishop to c4 along this diagonal here. He plays his queen to e7. And here he could be thinking about something like this. I could castle here. I have a couple thoughts. In the opening, we always want to fight for the center. So one idea is to play d4 right away. Uh, I'm, I don't quite want to castle yet because this pin might be coming. A little more annoying here if you castle. The other option I was thinking, just to mix it up a little, is look at something like c3 here, and then maybe something even like a queen b3 attacking here if he tries to play his bishop out here. Um, so there's a lot of ways to do it. I think d4 is fine. I think castling is fine. Um, but let's see, does queen to 7 here offer us anything that we don't already have? I think actually d4, well, one thing is I don't want to. If I play d4 and he takes back, I have to be careful because it's ended. So I could play something more conservative too, like um, d3, and then play my bishop out here. So in the opening here again, um, not worrying too much about theory, trying to play some logical moves. Castling would be fine, um, but then I just have to make sure I'm okay here with bishop to g4. He doesn't have another way to attack it right away, so I'm going to go ahead and castle. Okay. In the opening, don't need to worry too much about calculating too deeply, but you want to make sure you can understand the starts. Okay, playing bishop to e6 as expected. Now I can take, of course, and he looks like he would take back with the queen, but we have to also look at the possibility that he takes back here with um, the f pawn, which would strengthen his center. Now, common maneuver here is to actually back this up to b3, which is what I'm going to do because if he takes, then that opens up the a file for me, even though it doubles these pawns. Okay, that's a common maneuver. I think I'm going to do it because, well, I obviously have to do something about it. I don't really feel like retreating my bishop, so I'm going to back it here to b3. Have a little bit of a hold here. Okay, takes here, and in general, you want to take towards the center, but in this case specifically because it does open this a file. Okay, so far so good. Okay, plays knight to d7. Now he could be doing a few things. He could be playing it here. Well, it kind of gets in the way here. Could also be looking to play it here. So I want to consider how I want to respond to that. Um, one thought here is I do need to get these other pieces out. Um, the c3 and c4 still work. That's a possibility. d4 right away, which actually has a little bit of a trap in it that if he takes, and then I take back, say, with the knight, and then if he takes with the queen, then I can pin here. He can also be castling this way, so I want to be wary of that. Either way, I want to get this bishop developed as well as this knight. So let me think about how I want to do that here. Um, I think uh, I might want to just play d3 here. So I'm going to play my knight out first. Then if he that way it protects e4 if he does play this knight to c5. I can always kick this knight with b4 at some point. That makes sense too. Let's go ahead and play our knight here. A lot of good moves that I can make, but so far so good. He has to develop this knight and this bishop as well. So you can see here this queen is a little awkward unless he's going to castle queenside because it's in the way of this bishop. Okay. He plays his knight here, and maybe he's going to fianchetto his. So here again, do a few things. You can play d4 and actually play knight takes d4. Again, this pawn is safe tactically because of this potential pin. And then this knight actually gets to be a little interesting here with this f5, for example. Get some activity there, but also it opens up this bishop. I can also play a little more conservatively with d3. But because his queen, well, there's a few ways to look at this. With his knight here, he might want to hop onto here as well. So I have to be a little careful if I do that. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and now I could play d3 and then later play d4, depending on what here. But here even something like d3 and just get this bishop out here might be something good to do. You think so? I'm between d3 and d4. d4, he takes d4, knight takes d4, and then he has knight to e5. Then I actually have something like f4 here, pushing this knight back, then maybe even breaking in here somehow. Could be interesting because his king is stuck in the center, he's behind in development, but maybe I don't want to take that risk. So, you know what? Let's go trying to see what his plan is to develop somehow. He castles this way. Um, I could threaten this fork, but I don't know if that's necessarily. Actually, can I win a pawn here? Knight to b5. Normally, in the opening, you don't necessarily want to. Well, no, because this pawn is hanging. But actually, let's play. That kind of gives me a clue here. Let's play d3. And the idea is now this is protected, so I can now threaten here. He'll probably protect here, but that's okay. Okay, plays his queen back here. Uh, pretty much he's planning on moving this guy out this way. Because there may be pin here. I'm not necessarily going to do. Okay. Let's see here. I can play my bishop here, threaten here. I can pin, but then I think he's just going to play bishop to e7. So really not that. The pin here is not that helpful. I know in my last game I pinned on g5, but I don't think it's that helpful here. Okay, I'm going to do. I'm actually going to play h3 first. And what that does is I can play bishop to e3, then can't harass my bishop with knight to g4. A little nuance there. Now I'm going to play bishop to e3, attacking here. It doesn't really have any real threats here. I think that's fine. So my development looks fine here, and here putting pressure. So I actually have a target here, which is this a7 pawn. Can probably defend it fairly easily, but maybe I can start to target all of these pawns somehow. Okay, he's going to castle. Okay, I can win a pawn here, but the question is, should I? And I think the thought is, I take, he takes. If I take, he's going to try to trap me. So then we just have to see if we can get out somehow. Um, I cannot take right away. I think what I'm going to do actually is, so just so you see here, I can't take here with the rook, because if he takes and I take with the bishop, he's going to play b6, which is going to trap this bishop here. And I think I can take it yet. That's okay. I'm actually going to play this pawn up, cover this square, and also, well, let's see here. Before I do that, if I play b4, and he plays, if I play b4, he plays d5. Um, you know what? I can double up on this file. So I don't have to rush to do this, and he's probably trying to bait me into it. I'm going to play my queen off of this file so I can double rooks. Always want to look at his breakthroughs here. So looking at d5, I've got that covered pretty well. I always want to look at my own breakthroughs. Can I play d4 here safely? And I don't really want to yet, because then that opens me up a little bit, I think. So I'm going to play my queen to, I'll play it to e2, because he doesn't have any plans to put anything here, and then that way I can move my rook either to d file or double up here. So staying a little flexible and seeing where that goes. So sometimes when there isn't an immediate breakthrough, you just want to keep your pieces active. But you can see here, my targets are, pawns here are a little under protected. Okay, d4 is possible to get my knight over here, maybe to f5, or over here, attack these pawns. So um, I don't have a one single clear-cut plan yet, but something where um, I can develop some initiative here eventually. Now, if he plays something like b6 to kind of block this out, now these light squares get a little weak. Maybe I can maneuver knight 6, or even looking at something like knight to b5. Okay. Now, playing c6, which maybe is threatening d5. So I might want to think of playing d4 myself. Or he could just be trying to prevent knight to b5. Let's see here. So d4. The reason why is I can get mine in first. Then if he tries to push d5, then I could take here first, protected by this knight, that one attacker. If I push it and then he takes it, I might want to take with the knight, because again, now this is covered again. Okay? And then if I push, he takes, and I take with the bishop, and then he plays something like c5. well, then he's got this backward d pawn. D4 looks good here. Let's take a look here. D4, he takes D4, bishop takes D4, then C5, then I just play it back. If D5 here, then I can actually think about pushing maybe. So that's an option. Or should I play my rook over here? I think. Well, the other idea. So if he plays d5, do I have any? I can't just take there yet. He's going to liquidate a little. You know what? I kind of like d4. Let's. Well, thinking of pawn structure, if he takes here, yes, then I have a little more space, which is a good thing. And then at some point, maybe I can maneuver to play like f4. That would be somewhat of a. Let's go for it. There's no increment, so I have to be a little more careful about the time. There's a lot of clock here. But I do need to be careful of the tactics. That's always something to be wary of. Now, let's say he doesn't take this and he does something else. Do I want to take? Not yet. I want to keep that tension. Okay, he's going to back up here. And is that good or bad for me? Quite sure. I think that gives me time to get in rook e to d1, which makes things a little bit less fun for him. Because now I'm seriously threatening take here. In fact, I think I'm going to do it. Rook f to d1. If he takes, that's fine. I take with the bishop still. Okay, now I've got an opening here. Pushing is not a good idea. You can close the position 5. Makes it a little more difficult for me. Okay, let's see here. Do I want to take? If I take, problem with that is if I take, he takes back with the pawn. Then if I play my rook here to the d file, then he can just play bishop to f6, for example, to protect the pawn, because this knight would be pinned. So let's play the rook over here first. And maybe if on the more obvious moves, I might play a little quicker and then talk during my opponent's time to save some time on the clock because it's taking a little while here. Let's see. Does he want to? Maybe he wants to trade bishops here. Find out. Okay. Moving his queen off of this file. That's not a bad idea at all. And making a lot of queen moves, but that's not necessarily bad if it's the right thing to do. If I take and he takes back with the pawn, the way I can increase pressure. Does that benefit me at all? Sure. You know what I'm going to do next? He's not putting any pressure on this pawn at all. So I'm going to bring his rook over. Well, he can't bring his rook over. You know, I can do something like queen to d3 or queen to d2 with the idea of taking, then having that pressure down there. I would like for him to take, but force it. Queen to c4 is another option. Looking to add some pressure along here. Maybe a threat of knight to b5. But then I just have to worry about things like b5 here. So let's see here. I want to leave that pawn there. That's why taking here is not very attractive right now. Let's see, something like queen to d3 or queen to d2 looks interesting to just to keep that tension. Or even something like rook. What about rook to a4 and then switching over here? Rook to, well, not yet. You know what? I think I'm going to have to take here. Okay, here's my reasoning. I'm going to take here because I'm the only one who owns I own this file now, and he can't move his rook over right away. So it's going to take him a little time to shift there. If he takes back with the knight, then he's got this awkward pawn here. Okay, he takes back with the pawn. So now let's see what we can do. I could move my queen here, for example, or I can double up. Basically I can threaten to double up one of these tiles. But which one is the question? Cannot take here yet. Actually, I can take. Oh no, I can't take here. I can take here. Can I take here? Bishop takes a7. And then if he tries to trap me, oh, okay. If I take here, then he can take back with the knight. Then I take, and then the rook is protected. Can't quite do that yet. I'm actually looking at some exchange sacrifices here. Not yet. Okay, let's go. Here's what I'm going to do. My idea here: rook takes, queen takes, knight takes. That might be interesting. Might not be right, but might be interesting. Let's. What? Out of I can add Packer to this pawn. H5. We're playing quickly later, so I guess I should play a little quickly now. I don't want to do queen here because then the rook comes over. I guess I could just take that. Then there's no real. Let's make the threat. Let's make the threat and see what happens. Gonna move his knight. I've only got 11 minutes here, so I need to be kind of quick thinking right now. Um, this is good though. The game is I think is about even. All right, he's playing this knight over to protect. Okay, so he's got an attack on this pawn here. Um, always have to look now. Do I still have this? Do I have this? No, I don't anymore because these rooks are connected. we do here? That's kind of a nice little position here. Trying to find ways to add an attacker here. In Oh, I can't do that yet. Yeah, I can. Let's pin this knight here. Not really super critical yet, but I just want to look at my ideas here. Um, don't like this queen here right now. I might move that back here. By the way, just in case you were wondering, you can't take here because this bishop is well protected. Maybe I'm thinking what I should be thinking of is getting a knight to f5. That would be nice. And then if he plays g6, then he's got some holes on his dark squares that I can maybe exploit. But he's actually playing fairly well. He's not really any tactical blunders that I can see. Okay, plays his rook over. So I'm actually going to go ahead and move my queen back to e2. Okay. And I am going to play a little quicker these next. I'd love to get my knight to f5. Maybe play f4. I might want to play king to h1 too. I'm going to push f4 so that this diagonal is covered. And actually, oh no, there's no sacrifice anymore since the rook is here. So part of learning process here is going to be to analyze this game afterwards, whether I win or lose. Okay, he's playing his king over to f8. Interesting. Probably so he can move his knight. Or if that's best. I think I can get my knight over here. Knight to h4. Attacks my bishop. Actually, take this knight. Then play f4. Knight to f5, that is. I'm going to try it. Bishop is hanging, but I don't think there's any. I'm taking with check. He tries to discover an attack on my bishop. And then if he plays here, then I can play this check here. And always bring my knight back. So I hope this is helpful, just kind of going through my thought process as I do this. One other option that's available now that this bishop's over here is I can actually look at playing something like queen to 3 here and then taking here. At least forcing him to do something and dealing with that. Actually, there's a lot of possibilities. Queen to c4, a nice square. If he plays something like knight to b6, that kind of puts his knight out of place a little bit. So when it's your opponent's turn, you kind of look at these possibilities, and then when they make a move, you can retreat. Actually, if he plays h6, be a little careful because if I back it up, he might try something knight takes here. Well, he's putting his king back there, and now I can play knight to f5, which I'm going to do right now. If he plays his bishop, say to c5, then I can do like knight to a4, backing that bishop. Okay, he plays rook there. So, okay, let's see here. Do we have some tactics? Well, taking the bishop, probably okay. Um, but there's some other options, including things like sacrificing the exchange. That if knight takes back, then we will play this check, for example. I always look at this sacrifice here too, but I don't think it comes of anything. Okay. Again, I don't have a whole ton of time. Taking here is probably good. Bringing that rook up would in here, although again, I can't really hack it right now. And I don't have to take this right away. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch up here and I'm going to double up on this file right now because bishop's safe. If he takes here, I take with the knight. Okay, moving that guy back there. And can I take here? Is that safe to take there? I think I can just take it. Okay, I'm just taking it. Then I'm just going to bring it back. Okay? So that's how that goes. See here. Got a lot of, I guess say, safety valves where I can play a check out here. For example, he cannot play this rook out. If he plays this rook back out here, I take it because then this guy's hanging. Or if he plays this rook out here, I check here first. Then if he takes it, then I take here. So that's actually not bad. Now I can look at, well, interesting stuff there. Okay, so that was kind of a blunder on his part. The problem is now these pieces are kind of all defending each other with various pins. There's like a pin here. It's not really a pin, but he has to consider all the exchanges here. But again, I need to play quickly because I'm running low on time. So we'll see. Okay, he's playing his king back out here again. interesting. I don't know exactly what he's doing there, but that's okay. Okay. Let's see here. Can I get my queen around? That's another interesting thing. Maybe it's just be on the safe side. I'm just going to back my rook up. Let's take my pawn and go, and then consider this again momentarily. So sometimes you just need to be patient. I have a slight little edge now just because of that pawn, but it's not winning, I would say. Not winning the game, but you need to be careful. Okay, so let's see here. Um, Pushing me back a little bit. Question is, can I just take? What if I take with the knight, and then after he takes back with the pawn, check him here? Do I get a mating? Do I have a mating attack? Then queen to f3. I don't need to take the chance yet. Let's keep the pin going here, and then I can put pressure on this pawn if he puts it here. So I'm maintaining this relationship here. So he's okay. Now he's moving the knight back, and here he's gonna liquidate a little bit. Which would I take with first? Let's take with the bishop first. Okay, he's taking with the knight, and now I can play this, win this guy here. Double check. I think I can just well, let's see. If I go here, and then he plays rook to a8. I still think it's good. Let's do that. Knight to d6. If he plays rook to a8, I could even just play rook to d1 right here. So the point is that rook to a8, threatening this rook. If I exchange it, I'm not going to take on a8. I'm just going to bring it back to d1. Then there's a lot of pressure here. Then now my queen get into the action a little. Okay, kind of like it. I like it so far. So actually, if rook to a8, I can play rook to d1, and then he should move this rook. Then I can play my queen, say to even f3, but I can even play it to h5 might be better because then he can't block with f6. And if he plays g6, I can take h6 with check. Okay, so this is an interesting game, guys. We'll have to analyze it, and maybe I will put well, I'll put the analysis on Patreon with the PGN file. So if you guys want to view that after this game, then you can do so. And I'll have a link in the description. Let's see how he responds. I'm happy to take this guy here and double up anyway. Threaten to barrel down there. Or actually, what I might do is just threaten mate. See how he responds. So h5 would be kind of the superior move here as well. So I'm expecting rook to a8, and I would play just rook to d1. Rook a to d1. Or if he plays rook to a8, I could just take it, and after he takes with the rook, play queen to h5 with the various mating threats there. And then if he checks me, just move to h2 with my king. Well, let's see what he does here. We've got a little bit of an attack going, but it's not over yet. To see what he does, see what he can do to defend. I might not take this right away if he just leaves it there. It might be what he wants to do. He might actually want to just defend against the mating threat. He might want to just play something like knight to f6. Actually, if he does play knight to f6, then it might be better for me to take. Just get up material. Okay? But let's see. Knight to f6 looks pretty good for him. Otherwise, to defend against the threat. Covers h5 and also blocks the f file. Now, if he plays that, then I might just double up here on d file anyway. Because this guy will still be stuck. And this will still have enough protection. Okay. Playing his knight here, threatening this, so I pretty much have to take. I don't have to take, but then he frees that and all my positional advantage is gone. So I'm going to take it, also because I'm low on time. I know this will give me some type of advantage. Okay, and now I'm just going to double up here, putting pressure down this file. Okay, I'm going to play his. So this knight here isn't really that great. Fine for me. Let's see here. We do. Let me just go ahead and add another attacker here. Also, I want to maybe bring my knight back around, this knight around to f5. Okay. And here he's going to threaten my queen. So my queen here maybe. Okay, let's just go back to f3 for now. So you can't, I've got total control here of the d file, which is nice. And I can take my time and bring this knight around because my queen is protecting this pawn. He's got a pretty good grip here on my entry points, so I can't quite bust through yet. But if I could put some pressure on his position by getting a knight to this good position here, then okay, brings his knight back here. Um, yeah, let's bring my knight over. Might want to play this and put a little more pressure on, and I just bring it over to G. Okay, so he's got two attackers here, and I'm just going to do that. And I can maybe kick this at some point as well. So I can play queen to c3 here with the idea that if he tries to exchange here, I've got this nasty check with a fork protected as well. I might do that, put a little pressure here, as well as some pressure here on c5. And also give me access to like c4. Because well, you can see here, I can get if I can get a rook here, for example, and my queen here, that would be dangerous. So I have a lot of attacking chances here. I just have to be very. I just want to be very careful now that I'm getting a little bit of an edge. Okay, brings his queen over. Now he's covering that threat that I mentioned. Let's see here. But we can actually get in our shot here. Queen. There. We can't take now because I can take his queen. Okay. Now he brings that over there. Now I can attack his rook. So. Okay. Brings his rook over here. Got two defenders. He's got two attackers. Now, what I want to do is kick this knight out. Okay. Now he's only got 1% attacking. I could bring this knight back this way. Let's do that. Sorry, I'm playing it kind of quickly now, so might not be playing the 100% best moves. Over to d file is really actually if he moves this knight, checkmate. He moves his queen back over. Fine. And what I'm going to do is, oh, I can threaten mate here. Quick. Quick mate threat right here. Okay, if he plays knight to h4, then I could play here. Okay, that fine. I'm going to take this with check. Gonna move that way. Let's see here. I'm going to take this pawn. He takes this pawn. I'm going to check him here. I think. Actually, I think I'm going to mate him. It's not going to be mate. He'll go here and then check here, close to me. Now it's a race against the clock, guys. Going to be close to mate, guys. If he oh actually if he takes here, then it looks like mate into queen to g8 check 7. Queen takes f7 is cannot take this pawn here. Putting a lot of pressure on him. Even thinking of rook takes here, then if knight takes again, I have that sequence. Otherwise, he just loses his queen. Of course, good for me. Okay, the threat now is rook takes d7. And we're down to the wire, guys. So, interesting game going on. Hope you guys are enjoying. Um, actually, he didn't played well in the beginning. You could see there was a little miscoordination between his pieces. Again, I'm not sure if I made the best moves, but I'll do some analysis and put that in the PGN file for you to look at if you want. And kind of stuck here because if he moves this knight, then there's going to be a check right here. And then if he moves his king goes to e7, then I think it's knight 8 because this knight would be pinned. Knight to g8 mate. So, okay. Moves his rook back. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to threaten the rook. He takes here. I've got to check to get out. Or I could check him here. Cannot. If he takes this pawn, then rook is getting taken with check. Okay. Huh. Alright, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it, guys. We're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. I'm just gonna win some material. Okay? Check. And I'm gonna take this pawn. Okay, I should be able to win this fairly quickly, guys. But I'm gonna show you how to show you some technique here, hopefully. And he should be resigning soon, but he probably is going to see if he can run me out of time. But he is not going to be able to. Okay, go there, and I'm just going to bring my king in. Okay, and let's just give him this check. Actually, I could have won some material, but playing quickly now, so moves might not be as precise, but you get the general idea. Basically, there's no risk of losing anymore, but I just have to make sure I don't stalemate him. Okay. Huh. Well, if he wants to do that, but let's just play here. Can't move his knight because I'll just take this with check. Okay. I'm going to attack his knight so I can win this pawn. Okay. If I take his knight, so you gotta be careful here, guys. You gotta make sure he's got a place to go so you don't stalemate him. Probably that's his hope now that I'm going to stalemate him. I'm not going to. Okay, I'm going to check him. Always make sure he's got a place to go. I'm going to check him again. And I'm going to check him again. And I'm going to just leave him there while I bring my king in, and then I'm going to checkmate him. So a bunch of ways we could do this, of course. I could just pawn, which is all right. Let's just do that. We're going to checkmate him on the back rank. Not going to run out of time. So I would encourage you now. Here he could easily resign, but I think in your games you want to fight on, make him, force him to make a mistake. Because I've seen, especially at the lower levels, I watch a lot of when my kids play chess and my little chess students, they're playing, under 1200. There's a lot of times when they're up a queen and then they'll end up stalemating because they don't know the technique. So that's why I say you always want to make sure he has a place to go here. Here we are going to get checkmate here. So let's see what he does. You can only move the king here. But he didn't play badly in the opening in terms of blunders, but I was patient and was able to maneuver until he did make a couple little mistakes, and then mistakes you saw kind of added up. And he had his got by his king. So sometimes, I know I show you some great games with Capablanca and Botvinnik and all these great masters, and they have these grand strategies, but a lot of it at this level is just making sure you're not going to make mistakes and doing something positive with your position, even if there isn't maybe a grand scheme. Okay, you can make little plans along the way. Just improve your pieces. He's going to run himself out of time. Say thank you, good game, and that will be that. So, okay, we went on time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little something from it. Feel free to ask me questions in the comment. And again, I will have the PGN file in the um, on the Patreon page. I'll have a link to that in the description. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press that like button. Also, if you are new to the channel, Better Chess Training, we put out weekly videos, and the goal is to help you to become a better chess player. So check that out and hit that subscribe button, and hope to see you soon.